Oh boy, 30 seconds. Here we go. Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Stream! Good morning, Millwatchers. It's your buddy Johnny Millwater coming to you live from Charlotte, North Carolina. Beautiful 51-degree day out. That doesn't seem right to me, but I'm sure it's fine. Hope everybody's feeling well. Just trying to get this backdrop off. Oh, now it looks like I'm broadcasting in hell. And there we go. Well, I've got a big show for you all planned out. It's been a few weeks since I've seen you. I'll bring you up to speed. But first, let's do some vocal exercises. Practice these at home. If you know them, we're going to start with red leather, yellow leather. Remember to hit the D and the th and leather. Red leather, yellow leather, 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 red leather, yellow leather. Toy boat, 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 toy boat. Amidst the mists of fiercest frosts, with barest wrists and stoutest boasts, he thrusts his fists against the post, and still insists he sees the ghost. Oh, what a to-do to die today, at a minute or two to two, a thing distinctly hard to say, but harder still to do, for they'll beat a tattoo at 20 to 2, a rat-a-tat-tat, a tat-a-tattoo, and the dragon will come when he hears the drum, at a minute or two to two today, at a minute or two to two. The black bug bled black blood. 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 And I am a thistle sifter. I have seven sieves of unsifted thistles and 7 sieves of sifted thistles, for I am a thistle sifter. I am a thistle sifter. I have 7 sieves of unsifted thistles and 7 sieves of sifted thistles, for I am a thistle sifter. Nice. And a couple of these. All right, I am warmed up and cleared up. Let's head into the chat chalet, see how everybody's doing. Good morning, Freak Show. I hope everybody's feeling fantastic. Welcome back to the big show. My name's Johnny Millwater, and I'm here to keep you company if you need some. It's a pretty simple show. You have something to say, you type it on the big board, and I'll talk to you. If you don't have anything to say, I just spin the wheel, which is just a bunch of fun things I enjoy doing, like reading, poems, singing songs, telling short stories, things like that. So if you have anything, there's about a 45-second lag, I understand. Type it in there, and I'll chat with you. That's what I prefer. But as it's just me so far, let's spin the wheel. Make sure that works. Oh, here we go. Let's start with a monologue. I love doing the monologues. This monologue is called The Nitwit School. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia by Rob McClenaghy, Charlie Day, and Glenn Howerton. This piece was performed by the brilliant Danny DeVito. I ain't talking about nothing. The skull's Fort Knox. I went to a therapist once. Just once. I was a kid. I got into a fight. The doctor asked me question after question. He got me so scrambled up. Next thing I knew, I was shanghaied to a nitwit school. Do you know what a nitwit school is? Yeah. And not just for nuts in the head. Bodies, too. Back then, the science was real crude. They stuck us all together. My roommate was a frog kid. You ever see a frog kid? Yeah, the place was windowless. There was a guard every 10 feet. All the rooms had drains in the floor so they could hose us down. I got my first kiss there. It was terrible. But not her. She was an angel, always smiling. It's because she had no lips, but her mouth was still very much in play. Oh! She died 2 weeks later. She thought she was a spaceman with a plastic bag for a helmet. Oh, you unzipped me. Oh, it's all coming back. It's all coming back. I hate you. I don't like it. You understand? I don't like it. Oh, with a plastic bag for a helmet. It's fun. You should watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's a great show with a whole lot more people than you'd expect. Oh, we got a Charlie, Johnny Millwater. Let's see who Charlie is. Welcome. We got Charlie, and it's Charlie Frant. How you doing, Charlie? Good to see you, buddy. Happy New Year to you. Where are you writing in from? I'm here in Charlotte, North Carolina. That was a monologue which you just walked into from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, performed by Frank. I'm trying out monologues and songs and things like that. How you doing, buddy? Charlie's one of my favorite names in the world. One of my best friends growing up was named Charlie, and I named my daughter Charlie. Charlotte, but, Charlie. It's a good name. Unless you're Vietnamese, then you should probably keep it to yourself. So, how you doing? What's up? All right. Takes a while for the screen to catch up, so I'm going to spin the wheel. Type something in the chat, will you, buddy? And we'll catch up. Let's see what we got this time. Last time we got monologue. This time, we're coming in on... Could be anything. Could be wisdom. Could be feelings. Could be a movie. We just don't know. Story. Excellent. We just added this to the wheel last week. We added a few short stories that we tell by the campfire. It's only about 5 minutes, and I hope you enjoy it. This story is trying to find it in my secret screen you're not supposed to know is there. There it is. This story is a short story. It's called Borrowing a Match, and it's by Stephen Leacock. Now, you might think that borrowing a match upon the street is a simple thing, but any man who has ever tried it will assure you that it is not, and will be prepared to swear the truth of my experience of the other evening. I was standing on the corner of the street with a cigar that I wanted to light. I had no match. I waited till a decent, ordinary-looking man came along. Then I said, "Excuse me, sir, but could you oblige me with the loan of a match?" "A match?" he said. "Why, certainly." Then he unbuttoned his overcoat and put his hand in the pocket of his waistcoat. "I know I have one," he went on, "and I almost swear it's in the bottom pocket. Or, hold on, though, I guess it may be in the top. Just wait till I put these parcels down the sidewalk." "Oh, don't trouble," I said. "It's really of no consequence." "Oh, it's no trouble. I'll have it in a minute. I know it's in there somewhere." He was digging his fingers into his pocket as he spoke. "But you see, this isn't the waistcoat I generally..." I saw that the man was getting excited about it. "Well, never mind," I protested. "If that isn't the waistcoat that you generally... Why, it doesn't matter." "Hold on now, hold on," the man said. "I've got one of the cursed things in here somewhere. It must be in with my watch." "No, it's not there either. Wait till I get my coat. If that confounded tailor only knew enough to make a pocket so a man could get at it." He was getting pretty well worked up now. He had thrown down his walking stick and was plunging at his pockets with his teeth set. "It's that cursed young boy of mine," he hissed. "He comes of his fooling in my pockets. By Gad! Perhaps I won't. Perhaps I'll warm him up when I get home, say. I'll bet that's in my hip pocket. You can just hold up the tail of my overcoat a second. No, I protested again. "Please don't make all this trouble. It really doesn't matter. I'm sure you don't need to take off your overcoat. No, pray, don't throw away your letters and things in the snow like that and tear out your pockets by the roots. Please don't trample over your overcoat and put your feet through the parcels. I do hate to hear you swearing at your little boy with that peculiar whine in your voice. Please don't tear at your clothes so savagely." Suddenly, the man gave a grunt of exultation and drew his hand up from the inside lining of his coat. "I've got it!" he cried. "There you are!" and he brought it out under the light. It was a toothpick. Yielding to the impulse of the moment, I pushed him under the wheels of a trolley car and ran. That's by Steve Leacock. That's an old-timey story with matches and trolley cars. I enjoyed that. Let's spin the wheel. Riddles. Let's go on down to the riddle room. What has legs but doesn't walk? What has legs but doesn't walk? Can you think of anything that has legs but doesn't walk? It's a table. A table has legs, but it doesn't walk. Yay! It's table. Let's spin the wheel. Song. All right. Finally, let's sing a song. Let's do this one at the theater. I added some lights to make it look cool for when I sing. All right. This is great for monologues, but for singing, you want a little more pizzazz. Nice, right? All right. So let's sing a song. I'll pick one out. This one is a cheer-up song. This is a song by the folks. That's Shakespeare. Here we go. I believe this song is called... No, I do not want to uninstall. No, I don't want to uninstall the... Just leave me alone. No. I'm working. I'm streaming right now. I don't want to install the updates. Come on. You ever get that back home? All right. Let's find a song that'll cheer you up. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one, too. I want to sing You'll Be Okay. See if I can find that one. I should never come into the songs with one in mind because I can't always find it. You'll be okay. That's how it starts. You'll love it. Memories are made of this. Leaving a jet plane. Lush life. The luckiest. That's a great one. Cheek to Cheek. Had that one in mind the other day. There it is. You'll Be Okay by Great Big World. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. The sun will rise to better days. And change will come. It's on its way. Just close your eyes and let it rain. 'Cause you're never alone. And I will always be there. You carry on. You will understand. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. Just look inside. You know the way. Let it go. Fly away. And say goodbye to yesterday. 'Cause you're never alone. And I will always be there. Just carry on. You will understand. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. The sun will rise to better days. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. Just close your eyes and let it rain. When you need it the most, and all you've got is a prayer, you carry on, you will understand. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. All right. Nice lights though, right? Here. All right, let's spin the wheel. just checking in on the chat chalet. If anybody's watching and not participating, don't forget you can type anything you want live right in here. You got requests, you got questions, good wishes, anything you like. You type it in the thing, and I'll be happy to talk to you. All right, so right now I'm going to go back, spin the wheel again. Anything can happen when you spin the wheel, folks. Oh, that's all yellow, and it looks to me, that's it. Shakespeare! All right, let's head on down to the Shakespeare stage. We have been making our way through the sonnets. Shakespeare wrote over 150 sonnets, I believe, in his life. We are currently on number 105. Let me take a sip of water. These are harder than they look. All right, here we go. Here comes the magic. Sonnet 105 by William Shakespeare. Let not my love be called idolatry, nor my beloved as an idol show, since all alike my songs and praises be to one, of one, still such and ever so. Kind is my love today, tomorrow kind, still constant in a wondrous excellence. Therefore my verse to constancy confined, one thing expressing, leaves out difference. Fair, kind, and true is all my argument. Fair, kind, and true, varying to other words, and in this change is my invention spent. 3 themes in one, which wondrous scope affords. Fair, kind, and true have often lived alone, which 3 till now never kept seat in one. That was Sonnet 105 by William Shakespeare. Next, we'll do Sonnet 106, but not right now. Right now, we're going to spin the wheel. If anybody's lonely or just wants to chat, type it up. I can see it. What do we got? What do we got? Ooh, a joke. All right, let's head on down to the theater. Tell a joke. A woman and her son are walking down the beach when all of a sudden a huge wave comes and crumples onto her son, drags him off to the sea. Now the woman can't swim, so she's terrified. She's horrified. She sees him going further and further out. She's going down for the 3rd time. She drops to her knees and she prays. She says, Lord, help me. Please, I will do anything, if you can please save my son. When all of a sudden, the clouds opened and a beam of light came down onto the water. A dolphin raised up over the waterline with her son on his back. And at that moment, an albatross swooped down from the clouds, picked up her son, and dropped him at her feet on the beach. The woman looked at her son and looked back up to God and said, he had a hat. That's a joke about ingratitude. I love those. Let's spin the wheel. This is fun. Riddles. Wow, didn't expect riddles to come up twice. Nobody likes riddles. Unless my daughter's watching. What kind of band never plays music? What kind of band never plays music? A rubber band. Rubber band. Let's spin the wheel. Ooh, a poem, finally. I love poems. Added a bunch to my collection. Let's read. My Heart and I by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Enough! We're tired, my heart and I. We sit beside the headstone thus, and wish that name were carved for us. The moss reprints more tenderly the hand types of the mason's knife, as heaven's sweet life renews earth's life, with which we're tired, my heart and I. You see, we're tired, my heart and I. We dealt with books, we trusted men, and in our own blood drenched the pen. As if such colors could not fly, we walked too straight for fortune's end. We loved too true to keep a friend. At last we're tired, my heart and I. How tired we feel, my heart and I. We seem of no use in the world. Our fancies hang gray and uncurled around men's indifferently. Our voices, which thrilled you so, will sleep. Our tears are only wet. Why do we hear, my heart and I? So tired, my heart and I. It was not thus in that old time when Ralph sat with me 'neath the lime to watch the sunset from the sky. Dear love, you're looking tired, he said. I, smiling at him, shook my head. 'Tis now we're tired, my heart and I. So tired, my heart and I. Though now none takes me on his arm to fold me close and kiss me warm, till each quick breath end in a sigh of happy languor. Now alone, we lean upon this graveyard stone, uncheered, unkissed, my heart and I. Tired out we are, my heart and I. Suppose the world brought diadems to tempt us, crusted with loose gems of powers and pleasures. Let it try. We scarcely care to look at even a pretty child or God's blue heaven. We feel so tired, my heart and I. Yet who complains, my heart and I? In this abundant earth, no doubt is little room for little things worn out. Disdain them, break them, throw them by, and if before the days grew rough, were loved, used well enough, I think we've fared, my heart and I. Let's spin the wheel. Shakespeare. Very well. Let us go back to the Shakespeare stage. I want to do half nodded Jew eyes. Let's see if I can find that one. I might not even have that one. No, I got the quality of mercy is not strained, but that's not the same thing. Well, let's do, she should have died hereafter. There would have been time for such a word. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day into the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays of lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, brief candle. Life is a walking shadow. A poor player who struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. I like that one. Let's spin the wheel. Ooh, a song. All right. Let's do this one by the campfire. This is You're Just Too Marvelous for Words by my namesake, Johnny Mercer. You're just too marvelous for words, like glorious, glamorous, and that old standby amorous. It's all too wonderful. I'll never find the words that say enough, tell enough. I mean, they just aren't swell enough. You're much too much, and just too very, very to ever be in Webster's dictionary. Oh, what happened there? Webster's dictionary. And so I'm borrowing a love song from the birds to tell you that you're marvelous, too marvelous for words. What a lovely song. Except that one part. Let's spin the wheel. What am I rooting for? That's the question. Sorry, folks, I'm dying. Ooh, a Zen Cohen. Let's go back there. Let's go back to the campfire. As many of you know, Zen koans are short stories used in the study of Japanese Buddhism. We are currently on number 33, Makusan's Hand. Makusan Hiki was living in a temple in the province of Tamba. One of his adherents complained of the stinginess of his wife. Makusan visited the adherent's wife and showed her his clenched fist before her face. "What do you mean by that?" asked the surprised woman. "Suppose my fist were always like that. What would you call it?" he asked. "Deformed," replied the woman. Then he opened his hand flat in her face and said, "Suppose it were always like that. What then?" "Another kind of deformity," said the wife. "If you understand that much, you are a good wife." Then he left. After his visit, his wife helped her husband to distribute as well as save. It can easily be misinterpreted nowadays. "Oh, your wife's spending too much money?" But that's not what he meant. Sometimes it's closed, sometimes it's open. That's true of hands and the purse strings, huh? Yeah, we're learning. Oh, my goodness gracious, somebody's here. It's Kim. Happy New Year! It's my sister Kim, everybody. Let's go chip in. By everybody, I mean hi, Kim. Paradise. She's on the Carnival Paradise in Tampa, Florida. Just finished up her great big New Year's Eve party. Nobody parties like Carnival Cruise Lines on New Year's Eve. They have such a great time. They got the band out and about. They got the comedians standing up. Everybody's dressed up and having a great time. Did you have a great time, Kim? Are you doing well? How you been? I love the Carnival Paradise. I might go back. Hey, I finally got a letter. I finally got an invitation from that nice lady. Lizette sent me an invitation asking me to perform on the ships again, which was nice. That's all I was really waiting for. But then I decided I need to figure out how to respond to that. It's been about 4 days, and I still haven't responded back. I kind of want to go back to work in a few years, or maybe I'll do 1 or 2 with you. But I just need to type that up. I was just killing time as you type more into the chat. But I think you might be more interested in watching than participating. So I'm going to spin the wheel, and we'll see how it goes. Type stuff in the chat. I'll read it later. Happy New Year! Monologue! Yay! Let's go down to the theater, do a monologue. Let's do 5 Levels of Drinking by Larry Miller. This is one of the all-time great stand-up comedy bits. It was first introduced to me by my beloved sister, Kim Harrison, who's watching right now. It is written by the brilliant Larry Miller, who is still living and performing out of Los Angeles. 5 Levels of Drinking. Now, it's 11 o'clock on a weeknight. You've had a few beers. You get up because you have work the next day, and one of your friends buys another round. one of your unemployed friends. Here at level 1, you think to yourself, oh, come on, this is silly. Why, as long as I get 7 hours of sleep, I'm cool. Level 2, it's midnight. You've just had a few more beers. You just spent 20 minutes arguing against artificial turf. You get up to leave again, but at level 2, a little devil appears on your shoulder. And now you're thinking, hey, I'm out here with friends. What am I working for anyway? These are the good times. Besides, as long as I get at least 5 hours sleep, I'm cool. Level 3, 1 in the morning. You've abandoned beer for tequila. You've just spent 20 minutes arguing for artificial turf. And now you're thinking, our waitress is the most beautiful woman I have ever seen. At level 3, you love the world. On the way to the bathroom, you buy a drink for the stranger at the end of the bar just because you like his face. You get drinking fantasies. Hey, fellas, if we bought our own bar, we could just live together forever. We could do it. Tommy, you could cook. But at level 3, that devil is just a little bit bigger, and he's buying. And you're thinking, oh, come on. Come on now. As long as I can get 3 hours sleep and a complete change of blood, I'm cool. Level 4, 2 in the morning, and the devil is bartending. For last call, you order a bottle of rum and a Coke. You are artificial turf. This time on your way to the bathroom, you punch the stranger at the end of the bar just because you don't like his face. And now you're thinking, our busboy is the best looking man I've ever seen. You and your friends decide to leave right after you get thrown out. And one of you knows an after hours bar. And here, at level 4, you actually think to yourself, well, as long as I'm only going to get a few hours of sleep anyway, I may as well stay up all night. Yeah, that'd be good for me. I don't mind going to that board meeting looking like Keith Richards. Yeah, I'll turn that around, make it work for me. And besides, as long as I get 31 hours of sleep tomorrow, cool. Level 5, 5 in the morning, after unsuccessfully trying to get your money back at the tattoo parlor, but I don't know anybody named Ruby. At this point, even the devil is going, I got to turn in. I got to be in hell at 9. I've got that brunch with Hitler. I can't miss that. You and your friends wind up across the state line in a bar with guys who have been in prison as recently as that morning. At this point, you're all drinking some kind of thick blue liquor, usually used to clean chromes. A waitress with fresh stitches comes over, and you're thinking, someday I'm going to marry that girl. One of your friends stands up and screams, we're driving to Florida, and passes out. You crawl outside for air, and then you hit the worst part of level 5. The sun. You weren't expecting that, were you? You never do. You walk out of a bar in daylight, and you see people on their way to work or jogging, and they look at you, and they know, and they say, who's Ruby? Let's be honest. If you're 19 and you stay up all night, it's like a victory. It's like you beat the night. But if you're over 30, when that sun is like God's flashlight, and we all say the same prayer then, I swear I will never do this again. How long? As long as I live. And some of us have that little addition, and this time I mean it. Genius. Larry Miller, ladies and gentlemen. Larry Miller and the 5 stages of drinking. Still no more words from Kim, so we'll just keep going. Let's spin the wheel. All right. Shakespeare. Let's go back. I like doing Shakespeare. All right, let's do another sonnet or something. Let's see, Shakespeare. I'm cutting my hair pretty soon. Gonna miss it. All right, let's do... let's do the sonnet. Let's do 106. Sonnet 106. by William Shakespeare. When in the Chronicle of Wasted Time I see descriptions of the fairest wights, in beauty making beautiful old rhyme in praise of ladies dead and lovely knights. Then, in the blazon of sweet beauty's best, of hand, of foot, of lip, of eye, of brow, I see their antique pen would have expressed even such a beauty as you master now. So all their praises are but prophecies of this our time, all you prefiguring, and, for they looked but with divining eyes, they had not skill enough your worth to sing. For we, which now behold these present days, had eyes to wonder, but lack tongues to praise. That was 106. This is fun. If I read all the sonnets out loud, I win. I've decided to make my own rules, and that's one of them. It means I win, so that feels good. Everybody likes to win. Weird where my shoulders go, right? All right, focus up. Here we go. Let's spin the wheel. Ooh, Shakespeare again. That's unusual. Let's do it. Let's do... Yeah, I love this one. The wind sits on the shoulder of your sail, and you are stayed for. There, my blessing with thee, and these few precepts in thy memory look thou character. Give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Those friends thou hast in their adoption tried, grapple them unto thy soul with hoops of steel, but do not dull thy palm with entertainment of each new-hatched, unfledged comrade. Beware of entrance to a quarrel, but, being in, bear it that the opposed may beware of thee. Give every man thine ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly thy habit as thy purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy. Rich, not gaudy, for the apparel oft proclaims the man. Then a joke about friends I'm going to skip. Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. This, above all, to thine own self be true. Then it must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man. There, farewell, my blessing season this in thee. That's my favorite one. Believe it or not, I have that monologue printed out on the wall of my bathroom, my kid's bathroom. I'm hoping they'll read it by accident at some point over the next 5-6 years, because all the good information is really in that speech. Okay, let's spin the wheel. Story. All right, let's go to the campfire. Try another story. Oh, I forgot. Story starts with SH, short story. This is The New Food by Stephen Leacock. I see from the current columns of the Daily Press that Professor Plum of the University of Chicago has just invented a highly concentrated form of food. All the essential nutritive elements are put together in the form of pellets, each of which contains 100 to 200 times as much nourishment as an ounce of an ordinary article of diet. These pellets, diluted with water, will form all that is necessary to support life. The professor looks forward confidently to revolutionizing the present food system. Now, this kind of thing may be very well and good in its way, but it is going to have its drawbacks as well. In the bright future anticipated by Professor Plum, we can easily imagine such incidents as the following. The smiling family were gathered around the hospitable board. The table was plenteously laid with a soup plate in front of each beaming child, a bucket of hot water before the radiant mother, and at the head of the table, the Christmas dinner of the happy home, warmly covered by a thimble and resting on a poker chip. The expectant whispers of the little ones were hushed as the father, rising from his chair, lifted the thimble and disclosed a small pill of concentrated nourishment on the chip before him. Christmas turkey, cranberry sauce, plum pudding, mince pie, it was all there, all jammed into that tiny little pill, and only waiting to expand. Then the father, with deep reverence and a devout eye alternating between the pill and heaven, lifted his voice in a benediction. At this moment, there was an agonized cry from the mother. "Oh, Henry, quick! Baby has snatched the pill!" It was too true. Dear little Gustavus Adolphus, the golden-haired baby boy, had grabbed the whole Christmas dinner off the poker chip and bolted it. 350 pounds of concentrated nourishment passed down the esophagus of the unthinking child. "Clap him on the back!" cried the distracted mother. "Give him water!" The idea was fatal. The water striking the pill caused it to expand. There was a dull rumbling sound, and then, with an awful bang, Gustavus Adolphus exploded into fragments. And when they gathered the little corpse together, the baby's lips were parted in a lingering smile that could only be worn by a child who had eaten 13 Christmas dinners. I like this Stephen Leacock fella. I'm not familiar with his work, but it's a lot of fun. Leacock. You got to check him out. Or watch the show. I got to read at least one every week, right? Yeah, hey, all right. Let's spin the wheel. Ask me anything. Let's do a quick roll call. We have one viewer, and to you, I say thank you. If it's Kim, I say thank you twice, because you have to pay money. I'm not going to do an Ask Me Anything for an unidentified person in the chat, so I will spin the wheel. However, if there's anything you'd like to ask, go ahead and ask it. Shakespeare yet again. Let's go back to the Shakespeare stage. A lot of Shakespeare today. Let's go back to the sonnet, shall we? This is Sonnet 107 by William Shakespeare. Not mine own fears, nor the prophetic soul of the wide world dreaming on things to come, can yet the lease of my true love control, supposed as forfeit to a confined doom. The mortal moon hath her eclipse endured, and the sad augurs mock her own prestige. Uncertainties now crown themselves assured, and peace proclaims olives of endless age. Now, with the drops of this most balmy time, my love looks fresh, and death to me subscribes. Since, spite of him, I'll live in this poor rhyme, while he insults over dull and speechless tribes. And thou in this shalt find thy document, when tyrants' crests and tombs of brass are spent. Like those. Next up is 108. If we get yet another Shakespeare role, I doubt it, but it's available. Let's spin the wheel. Monologue. Let's go on down to the monologue. I think this is monologue. Yeah, monologue. All right. Let's go down to the theater. Let's do let's see. I like Just a Ride by Bill Hicks. Just a Ride by Bill Hicks. The world is like a ride in an amusement park, and when you choose to go on it, you think it's real because that's how powerful our minds are. And the ride goes up and down and round, and it's thrills and chills, and it's very brightly colored, and it's very loud, and it's fun for a while. Some people have been on the ride for a long time, and they begin to question, is this ride real, or is it just a ride? And other people have remembered, and they come back to us. They say, hey, don't worry. Don't be afraid. Ever. It's just a ride. And we kill those people. Shut him up. We have a lot invested in this ride. Shut him up. Look at my furrows of worry. Look at my big bank account and my family. This just has to be real. It's just a ride. Well, we always kill those good guys who try and tell us that. You ever notice that? Let the demons run amok? But it doesn't matter, because it's just a ride. And we can change it anytime we want. It's only a choice. No effort, no work, no job, no savings of money. A choice right now between fear and love. The eyes of fear want you to put bigger locks on your doors, buy guns, close yourself off. The eyes of love instead see all of us as one. Here's what we can do to change the world right now to a better ride. Take all the money that we spend on weapons and defense each year and instead spend it feeding, clothing, and educating the poor of the world, which you could do many times over, not one human being excluded, and then we can explore space together, both inner and outer, forever, in peace. It's only a ride. Words to live by. Let's spin the wheel. Monologue again. Wow, that's weird to get that twice in a row. But why fight it? Let's go back to the theater. I love monologues. What do you can't handle the truth? You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. Son, we live in a world that has walls, and those walls need to be guarded by men with guns. Who's going to do it? You? You, Lieutenant Weinberg? I have a greater responsibility than you can possibly fathom. You weep for Santiago and you curse the Marines. You have that luxury, the luxury of not knowing what I know, that Santiago's death, while tragic, probably saved lives. And my existence, while grotesque and incomprehensible to you, saves lives. You don't want the truth because deep down in places you don't talk about at parties, you want me on that wall. You need me on that wall. We use words like honor, code, loyalty. We use these words as the backbone for a life spent defending something. You use them as a punchline. I have neither the time nor the inclination to explain myself to a man who rises and sleeps under the very blanket of the freedom I provide and then questions the manner in which I provide it. I would rather you just said thank you and went on your way. Otherwise, I suggest you pick up a weapon and stand a post. Either way, I don't give a damn what you think you are entitled to. Yeah, it's a good speech. I feel tough. That's pretty good. All right, let's roll the dice. All right, there, I'm starting to get the entertaining buzz. For those keeping track at home. Song, all right, let's see if I can't find something cheerful to sing. Maybe one I can sing well. Go back to the campfire. Let's see. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. Let's do... If anybody's watching, I hope the suspense is driving you crazy. Let's do Nice Work If You Can Get It. Holding hands at midnight, 'neath the starry sky. A nice work if you can get it, and you can get it if you try. Strolling with the one girl, sighing sigh after sigh. Nice work if you can get it, and you can get it if you try. Just imagine someone waiting at the cottage door, where two hearts become one. Who could ask for anything more? Loving one who loves you, and then taking that vow. Nice work if you can get it, and if you get it, won't you tell me how? Just imagine someone waiting at the cottage door, when two hearts become one. Who could ask for anything more? Loving one who loves you, and then taking that vow. Nice work if you can get it, and if you get it, won't you tell me how? Hey. Happy songs. Let's spin the wheel. Monologue. Wow, a lot of monologues this week. All right, let's go to the theater. This is a monologue from The Lighthouse. It's a Wake's Curse. Damn ye! Let Neptune strike ye dead, Winslow! Hark! Hark, Triton, hark! Bellow, bid our father the Sea King rise from the depths, full foul in his fury, black waves teeming with salt foam, to smother this young mouth with pungent slime, to choke ye, engorging ye organs till ye turn blue and bloated with bilge and brine, and can scream no more. Only when he, crowned in cockle shells, with slithering tentacled tail and steaming beard, take up his fell, befitted arm, his coral tined trident screeches bunchy like in a tempest, and plunges right through your gullet, bursting ye, a bulging bladder no more, but a blasted bloody film now, a nothing for the harpies and the souls of dead sailors to peck and claw and feed upon, to be lapped upon, swallowed by the infinite waters of the dread emperor himself, forgotten to any man, to any time, forgotten to any god or devil, forgotten even to the sea. For any stuff or part of Winslow, any scantling of your soul, is Winslow no more, but is now itself the sea. That was fun. That's from The Lighthouse. Yeah, you want a real treat, you ought to see Willem Dafoe do that. Hey, go to YouTube. Check it out. It's probably better than my version. All right, let's spin the wheel. Ooh, a lot of breath. I'm not doing another monologue. What is going on, man? That's 5 monologues. I just added the Frog Kid. Song. There you go. Nope, joke. All right, that was weird. Let's go to the theater. Tell a joke. A woman walks into her bedroom with a duck under her arm. Her husband sits up in bed and sees her with the duck and says, what? The woman says, this here's the pig I've been loving on. Her husband says, that's a duck. Woman says, I wasn't talking to you. There you go. It's fun. Spin the wheel. Wrong button. Wow. It's weird. There we go, a poem. Let's do that. Let's go down to the poetry pagoda. This is He Wishes for the Clothes of Heaven by William Butler Yeats. Had I the heavens embroidered clothes and wrought with golden and silver light, the blue and the dim and the dark clothes of night, and light and the half-light, I would spread the clothes under your feet. But I, being poor, have only my dreams. I have spread my dreams under your feet. Tread softly, for you tread upon my dreams. Nice. I like that one. song. I like singing songs. Let's go to the theater. Let's do Sadder But Wiser Girl. I love that one. See if I can. Uh-oh, I started out with a song stuck in my head. Tried to find it, and that never works. But I'll figure it out this time. Here we go. Sadder But Wiser Girl for me. Boom! By Robert Preston. No sweet and pure angelic lass for me. That kind of gal spins a web, you see. She trades on wholesome innocence galore, but it's my independence that she's trading for. The only affirmative she will file refers to marching down the aisle. No golden, glorious, gleaming, pristine goddess. No, sir, for no Diana do I play fawn. I can tell you that right now. I snarl, I hiss. How can ignorance be compared to bliss? I spark, I fizz for the lady who knows what time it is. I cheer, I rave for the virtue I'm too late to save. The sadder but wiser girl for me. No bright-eyed, blushing, breathless baby doll baby. No, sir, that kind of child ties knots no sailor ever knew. I prefer to take a chance on a more adult romance. No dewy young miss who keeps resisting. All the time she keeps insisting. No wide-eyed, wholesome, innocent female. No, sir. While she's the fisherman, I'm the fish you see. I flinch, I shy when a gal with a delicate air goes by. I smile, I grin when the gal with a touch of sin walks in. I hope, I pray for Hester to win just one more A. The sadder but wiser girl's the girl for me. The sadder but wiser girl for me. Ha! Sadder but wiser girl for me. Ha! All right, that's fun. Okay, let's spin the wheel. Sadder but wiser girl. Oh, baby, doll, baby. Oh, sir, that kind of time. I understand if nobody wants to hear me yell on New Year's morning. Most people are probably still sleeping. Ask me anything. That's just an open invitation. Any questions you have at any time. If you're watching this stream, you can ask me a question. That's my policy. Now would be a great time, for example. Oh, baby, doll, baby. I know, sir, that kind of child ties not. I baby never knew. Ooh, a story. Cool. Let's go back to the campfire. Tell a story. Is it time for another one by Stephen Leacock? I believe it is. Now, when I go into the bank, I get rattled, all right? The clerks rattle me, the wickets rattle me, the side of the money rattles me, everything rattles me. The moment I cross the threshold of a bank and attempt to transact business there, I become an irresponsible idiot. I knew this beforehand. My salary had been raised to $50 a month, and I felt that the bank was the only place for it. So I shambled in, looked timidly around at the clerks. I had an idea that a person about to open an account must need to consult the manager. I went up to a wicket-marked accountant. The accountant was a tall, cool devil. The very sight of him rattled me. His voice was sepulchral. "Can I see the manager?" I said, and added solemnly, "Alone?" I don't know why I said alone. "Certainly," said the accountant, and fetched him. The manager was a grave, calm man. I held my $56 clutched in a crumpled ball in my pocket. "Are you the manager?" I said. God knows I didn't doubt it. "Yes," he said. "Can I see you?" I asked. "Alone?" I didn't want to say alone again, but without it, the thing seemed self-evident. The manager looked at me in some alarm. He felt that I had an awful secret to reveal. "Come in here," he said, and led me to a private room. He turned the key in the lock. "We are safe from interruption here," he said. "Sit down." We both sat down and looked at each other. I found no voice to speak. "You are one of Pinkerton's men, I presume," he said. He had gathered from my mysterious manner that I was a detective. I knew what he was thinking, and it made me worse. No, not from Pinkerton's," I said, seeming to imply that I came from a rival agency. "To tell the truth," I went on, as if I had been prompted to lie about it, "I am not a detective at all. I have come to open an account. I intend to keep all my money in this bank." The manager looked relieved, but still serious. He concluded now that I was the son of Baron Rothschild, or a young Gould. "A large account, I suppose?" he said. "Fairly large," I whispered. I propose to deposit $56 now and $50 a month regularly. The manager got up and opened the door. He called to the accountant. Mr. Montgomery, he said unkindly loud, this gentleman is opening an account. He will deposit $56. Good morning, sir. I rose. A big iron door stood open at the side of the room. Good morning, I said, and stepped into the safe. Come out, the manager said coldly, and showed me the other way. I went up to the accountant's wicket and poked the ball of money at him with a quick, convulsive movement, as if I were doing a conjuring trick. My face was ghastly pale. Here, I said, deposit it! The tone of the words seemed to mean, let us do this painful thing while the fit is on us. He took the money and gave it to another clerk. He made me write the sum on a slip and sign my name in a book. I no longer knew what I was doing. The bank swam before my eyes. Is it deposited? I asked in a hollow, vibrating voice. It is, said the accountant. Then I want to draw a check. My idea was to draw $6 of it for present use. Somebody gave me a checkbook through the wicket, and somebody else began telling me how to write it out. The people in the bank had the impression that I was an invalid millionaire. I wrote something on the check and thrust it at the clerk. He looked at it. What are you drawing it all out again? He asked in surprise. Then I realized that I had written 56 instead of 6. I was too far gone to reason now. I had a feeling that it was impossible to explain the thing. All the clerks stopped writing to look at me. Reckless with misery, I made the plunge. Yes, the whole thing. You withdraw your money from the bank. Every cent of it. Are you not going to deposit any more? Said the clerk, astonished. Never. An idiot hope struck me that they might think something had insulted me while I was writing the check and that I had changed my mind. I made a wretched attempt to look like a man with a fearfully quick temper. The clerk prepared to pay the money. How will you have it? He said. What? How will you have it? Oh, I caught his meaning and answered without even trying to think. In 50s. He gave me a $50 bill. And the 6? He asked dryly. In 6s, I said. He gave it me and I rushed out. As the big door swung behind me, I caught the echo of a roar of laughter that went up to the ceiling of the bank. Since then, I bank no more. I keep my money in cash in my trousers pocket and my savings in silver dollars in a sock. It's by Stephen Leacock. That's good stuff. All right, let's go spin the wheel. All right, we're still live. Everything's going as planned. I'm going to step away for a second and grab a cup of coffee. Since there's nobody watching, it shouldn't be a problem. Let's just keep on spinning that wheel. Woo! Spin the wheel! Everybody loves to spin a wheel. Woo! This is fun. Spin the wheel. Feelings. Uh-oh. All right. We'll try it. Good feelings yet today. The best way to do feelings is when nobody's watching. That's the way I feel about it. All right. Let's go back to the chat. All right. Feelings. First of all, it's been a couple of weeks, right? And in those couple of weeks, my wife took a week off, and we traveled down to Florida, and we got to see my dad, who's been badly injured in a fall. He looks like Rocky near the end of the movie. But still strong, still smart, still great for the kids to see. And we had a lovely time there. And then we went to her house, her parents' house, I mean, and we had a lovely time there. And I was just in awe of how all day, every day, even when nobody's watching, she's doing something for other people. She's being kind all the time. I want to do that, but I don't even think like that. She does kindnesses to people that wouldn't even occur to me. There's an accident on the interstate. She doesn't drive by. She stops and she helps. She's extraordinary and way out of my league. See, the problem isn't that Debbie's so great. That's my wife's name, Debbie. The problem is that I'm not. Right now, I'm not earning money. I spend most of my time sitting around in a chair. You know, I take care of the kids. I make them food. I get them on the bus and whatnot, but it doesn't seem like enough. So I've been feeling like not enough lately. But other than that, things are great. Very grateful. Very grateful. The kids are all healthy. I'm healthy. I got another year without pain. It's fantastic. Everything's going so great. It's just sort of my attitude waiting for the other shoe to drop. You know what I mean? waiting for that bad thing to happen, whatever it may be. But so far, so good. I feel really great. I just feel like I should be better. And I'm not sure exactly what that means. I'm not sure what's next for me. That's the biggest thing on my mind right now, is trying to figure out what's next. I love being with the kids. I love being home. It's wonderful, but I don't know how long I can sustain that. I'll figure something out. But anyway, my plan is I'm going to invite a few people who I really like, who are heroes of mine. This is a cool thing about living here in Charlotte as long as I have and being involved with comedy. A lot of the people that I met when they were first starting out became the top people in town, the people that I would most request advice from. So I'm going to invite a whole bunch of comic friends of mine to lunch over the next couple of weeks and see if I can't ask them for advice for what I might do next. All right. I think that's my feelings. How are you feeling? Right in the chat. Let's spin the wheel. Ooh, a story. Wow, we're getting a lot of those. But why not? Let's go to campfire story. I don't understand why that keeps coming up. I don't think I clicked save, that's why. Well, here's the story anyway. This is Clovis on Parental Responsibilities by H.H. Monroe. Some folks also call him Saki. Now, Marion Eggleby sat talking to Clovis on the only subject that she ever willingly talked about, her offspring, and their varied perfections and accomplishments. Now, Clovis was not in what could be called a receptive mood. The younger generation of Eggleby, depicted in the growingly improbable colors of parent impressionism, aroused in him no enthusiasm. Mrs. Eggleby, on the other hand, was furnished with enthusiasm enough for two. "You would like Eric," she said, argumentatively rather than hopefully. Clovis had intimated very unmistakably that he was unlikely to care extravagantly for either Amy or Willie. "Yes, I'm sure you would like Eric. Everyone takes to him at once. You know, he always reminds me of that famous picture of the youthful David. I forget who it's by, but it's very well known. That would be sufficient to set me against him, if I saw much of him," said Clovis. "Just imagine at auction bridge, for instance. When one was trying to concentrate one's mind on what one's partner's original declaration had been, and to remember what suits one's opponents had originally discarded, what it would be like to have someone persistently reminding one of a picture of the youthful David. It would be simply maddening. If Eric did that, I should detest him." "Eric doesn't play bridge," said Mrs. Eggleby with dignity. "Doesn't he?" asked Clovis. "Why not?" "None of my children have been brought up to play card games," said Mrs. Eggleby. "Drafts and Halma and those sorts of games I encourage. Eric is considered quite a wonderful drafts player." "You are strewing dreadful risks in the path of your family," said Clovis. "A friend of mine who was a prison chaplain told me that amongst the worst criminal cases that have come under his notice, men condemned to death or to long periods of penal servitude, there was not a single bridge player. On the other hand, he knew of at least 2 expert drafts players among them." "I really don't see what my boy have got to do with the criminal classes," said Mrs. Eggleby resentfully. "They have been most carefully brought up, I can assure you that." "That shows that you were nervous as to how they would turn out," said Clovis. "Now, my mother never bothered about bringing me up. She just saw to it that I got whacked at decent intervals and was taught the difference between right and wrong. There is some difference, you know, but I've forgotten what it is." "Forgotten the difference between wrong and right?" exclaimed Mrs. Eggleby. "Well, you see, I took up natural history and a whole lot of other subjects at the same time, and one can't remember everything, can one? I used to know the difference between the Sardinian dormouse and the ordinary kind, and whether the wryneck arrives at our shores earlier than the cuckoo, or the other way around, and how long the walrus takes in growing to maturity. I dare say you knew all those sorts of things at once, but I bet you've forgotten them." "Those things are not important," said Mrs. Eggleby. "But the fact that we've both forgotten them proves that they are important," says Clovis. "You must have noticed that it's always the important things that one forgets, while the trivial, unnecessary facts of life stick in one's memory. There's my cousin, Editha Clubberly, for instance. I can never forget that her birthday is on the 12th of October. It is a matter of utter indifference to me on what date her birthday falls or whether she was born at all. Either fact seems to me absolutely trivial or unnecessary. I've heaps of other cousins to go on with. On the other hand, when I'm staying with Hildegard Shrubley, I can never remember the important circumstance whether her first husband got his unenviable reputation on the turf or the stock exchange. And that uncertainty rules out sport and finance out of the conversation at once. One could never mention travel either, because her second husband had to live permanently abroad. Mrs. Shrubley and I moved in very different circles, said Mrs. Eggleby stiffly. No one knows Hildegard could possibly accuse her of moving in a circle, said Clovis. Her view of life seems to be a non-stop run with an inexhaustible supply of petrol. If she can get someone else to pay for the petrol, so much the better. I don't mind confessing to you that she taught me more than any other woman I could think of. What kind of knowledge? Demanded Mrs. Eggleby, with the air a jury might collectively wear when finding a verdict without leaving the box. Well, among other things, she introduced me to at least 4 different ways of cooking lobster. That, of course, wouldn't appeal to you. People who abstain from the pleasures of the card table never really appreciate the finer possibilities of the dining table. I suppose their powers of enlightenment and enjoyment get atrophied from disuse. An aunt of mine was very ill after eating a lobster, said Mrs. Eggleby. I dare say if we knew more of her history, we should find out that she'd often been ill before eating the lobster. Aren't you concealing the fact that she'd had measles and influenza, and nervous headache and hysteria and other things you aunts have to have long before she ate the lobster? Aunts that have never known a day's illness are very rare. In fact, I don't personally know any of them. Of course, if she ate it as a child of 2 weeks old, it might have been her first illness and her last. But if that was the case, I think you should have said so. I must be going, said Mrs. Eggleby in a tone which had been thoroughly sterilized of even perfunctory regret. Clovis rose with an air of graceful reluctance. I have so enjoyed our little talk about Eric, he said. I quite look forward to meeting him someday. Goodbye, said Mrs. Eggleby frostily. The supplementary remark which she made at the back of her throat was, I'll take care that you never shall. That's Clovis. There you go. Fun. Let's spin the wheel. Wisdom, finally. Let's go down and spread some wisdom. I believe it's the Quran that taught us that Allah, sacred was his name, will not change the condition of a people until they change what is in their hearts. Not even the all-powerful can change someone unless they change what's in their hearts. Ignore those that make you fearful and sad, that degrade you back towards disease and death. That's from Rumi. It's very smart. One more. Travel brings power and love back into your life. Rumi. Travel. I miss travel. Let's spin the wheel. Monologue. What are the chances? I like monologues. Let's do Ricky Romo's monologue from Glengarry Glen Ross. All train compartments smell vaguely of shit. It gets so you don't mind it. That's the worst thing I can confess. You know how long it took me to get there? A long time. When you die, you're going to regret the things you don't do. You think you're queer? I'm going to tell you something. We're all queer. You think you're a thief? So what? You get befuddled by a middle-class morality. Get shut of it. Shut it out. You cheated on your wife? You did it. Live with it. You fuck little girls? So be it. There's an absolute morality? Maybe. And then what? If you think that there is, then be that thing. Bad people go to hell. I don't think so. If you think that, act that way. Hell exists on earth. Yes, I won't live in it. That's me. You ever take a dump? Makes you feel like you just slept for 12 hours. Or a piss. A great meal fades in reflection. Everything else gains. You know why? Because it's only food. The shit we eat, it keeps us going, but it's only food. The great fucks you may have had. What do you remember about them? I don't know. For me, I'm saying what it is probably not the orgasm. Some broad's forearm on your neck, something her eyes did. There was a sound she made. Or me lying I'll tell you, me lying in bed the next day, she brought me cafe au lait. She gave me a cigarette. My balls feel like concrete. Huh? What I'm saying is, what is our life? It's looking forward or it's looking back. And that's our life. That's it. Where is the moment? And what is it we're so afraid of? Loss. What else? The bank closes. We get sick. My wife died on a plane. The stock market collapsed. The house burned down. What do these happen? None. But we worry anyway. What does this mean? I'm not secure. How can I be secure? Through amassing wealth beyond all measure. Nah. And what's beyond all measure? That's a sickness. That's a trap. There is no measure, only greed. How can we act? The right way, we would say, to deal with this. There's a 1 in a million chance that so-and-so will happen. Fuck it. It won't happen to me. No. We know that's not the right way, I think. We say the correct way to deal with this is there is a 1 in so-and-so chance this will happen. God protect me. I am powerless. Let it not happen to me. But no to that, I say. But there's something else. What is it? If it happens, as it may, for that is not within our powers, I will deal with it just as I do today, with what draws my concern today. I say that is how we must act. I do those things which seem correct to me, to myself. Today. I trust myself. And if security concerns me, I do that today, which I think will make me secure. And every day I do that. When that thing arrives, I need to reserve A, odds are that I have it, and B, the true reserve that I have is the strength that I have of acting each day without fear. According to the dictates of my mind. Stocks, bonds, objects of art, real estate, what are they? An opportunity. An opportunity to what? To make money? Perhaps. To lose money? Perhaps. To indulge and learn about ourselves? Perhaps. So fucking what? What isn't? They're an opportunity. That's all they are. They're an event. A guy comes up to you, you make a call, you send out a brochure. It doesn't matter. There are these properties I'd like for you to see. What does it mean? What do you want it to mean? Money? If that's what it signifies to you, security, comfort, all it is things that happen to you. That's all it is. How are they different? Some poor newly married guy gets run down by a cab. Some busboy wins the lottery. All it is, it's a carnival. What's special? What draws us? We're all different. We're not the same. We are not the same. James, I'm glad to meet you. Glad to meet you, James. I want to show you something. It might mean nothing to you, and it might not. I don't know. I don't know anymore. What is that? Florida. Glengarry Highlands, Florida. Florida, bullshit. And maybe that's true, and that's what I said. But look here. What is this? This is a piece of land. Listen to what I'm going to tell you now. Yay, that's Ricky's sale pitch from Glengarry, Glen Ross. Oh, there's somebody here. Yay! Moments, good advice. Oh, let's go on back. There are moments, good deal. Welcome to the show, Christopher. Glad you're here. We're almost done. Appreciate you sticking in. And yes, life is searching for moments. I believe that very, very strongly. Moments. Every moment, big or small, is a moment after all. So seize the moment. Skies may fall any moment. That's by Stephen Sondheim. How you doing there, Christopher? Let's see if I know you. Oh, hey, it's my buddy. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my buddy Neil. This is very, very exciting. This is the man who married me to my wife, one of my closest friends from college. I always called him Neil, but now he goes by Christopher. How you doing, buddy? How are things? Where you living? Are you still in Raleigh? I've been out of the loop for a long time. There are moments. Always more moments. Yeah. Catch up with me, Chris. Are you Christopher now? Are you Neil? How do you go, buddy? Still talk to anybody from college? Yeah, me neither. Miss you, Magic Man. When I was in college, I was Johnny the Magic Man Millwater for the folks watching at home. I was a variety act until I was about 29, I think. Man, he used to come out to all the shows. He was such a cool comedy fan. You're the greatest, man. I miss you, Neil. I'm having a moment of a real... Oh, Melbourne. Okay, Melbourne's really nice. Melbourne's one of those few cities in Florida that I actually like a lot. I used to teach traffic school in Melbourne every couple of weeks. And the drive there is lovely, and it's not too crowded, and the people were very kind to me. So I say hooray. Ooh, wait a minute. There's another button. Oh, I wonder what it does. Oh, this is cool. I just got this new thing. I'm very excited about it because I can't... I wish you could see the setup that I have. It's a briefcase with a laptop with the phone on top of the laptop to make it all look like this. So, but I can't use my keyboard or it makes the whole thing shake. So I just do that. Neil Works. Good to see you. Are you still with your wife there, Neil? You got the kids? What are you working on? I remember... Oh, man. My memory is tragic. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm going to spin the wheel while I try to think of something wonderful to talk about. I miss this guy. I miss you. But the lag. It's rough. Okay, let's spin the wheel. Let's spin the wheel. No, you're right. Spin the wheel. Let's spin it. Who knows what's going to happen when you spin the wheel? Neil Works. Let's see. Hung out with Neil and his brother for a bachelor party. I think I screwed that up. Monologue? Nah, I just did one of those. Come on. Miss you, man. Ask me anything. That offer always stands. Type anything you want into the chat, and I'll be glad to answer it. Neil? 2 teenagers. Oh, my goodness gracious. Wow. I got a teenager, too. Orion's 13 now. Bigger than his mom and almost bigger than me. Oh, poem! Let's go on down to the Poetry Pagoda. Let's do If by Rudyard Kipling. It's my favorite. If you can keep your head about you when others are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet both triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop up and build them with worn-out tools, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss and lose, and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And what's more, you'll be a man, my son. Yay, I love that one. Let's go back to the chat real quick. All right. Neil says, call him Neil. And Katie and the kids are all great. We have 2 teenagers. Wow. Hey, is that BJ? What is that? What is that BJ? Hold on. Is that my buddy BJ? It is BJ O'Shea. Hooray! How you doing, BJ? Welcome to... BJ is one of my dear friends from the sea who I miss a whole lot. When I was working on Carnival, I can't believe I actually remember which ship and everything. I was working on the Carnival Dream, and I was just passing the time, practicing the piano in one of the lounges where I wasn't supposed to be, and I was practicing Brick by Ben Folds, because I'm a big Ben Folds fan, and in strolls BJ, and she knows how to play Give Me My Money Back, I think it was, or one of his other big hits from that album, and we've been friends ever since. We must have had 1,000 lunches. We hung out in Charlotte a little bit together. We got to go to Alaska a little bit. I remember we took a train together. Every time I think of that song, never mind. Anyway, every time I think of a train, I think of you, BJ. How you doing? Happy New Year to you. What's one of your favorite places you've been in your travels? Great question. I love the Alaska trip. That train in Alaska really was one of the highlights of my entire life. It was great. And I love Alaska, and the only places that I miss are the dry places, you know. I miss the Arizona. I miss the New Mexico. Those are special in their own way, too. But of all the places I traveled on ships, definitely Alaska was by far the best. How are you now? I think the last time I saw you were a musical director, or you were a soloist for a while, and then a musical director, and I think you're queen now? Are you queen of Carnival? I lose track. I don't even know which ship you're on anymore. Which ship are you on? What job are you doing? How are you? Hi. Happy New Year. PJ, this is so cool. I wish you could meet Neil. You two would really get along because you're both just terrific human beings. It's wonderful. I'm so happy to hear from you both. BJ doesn't have any kids yet, as far as I know. And Neil and I were just talking. I am the soloist and music manager on the Pride. Look at that. You got a slash. Very nice. The Pride. That's the Butterfly Lounge, I believe. Yeah, definitely been there. I am releasing original music this year. Oh, that's very exciting. What kind of music and how can I find it? I can practice plugging. This will be fun. I just saw my buddy Tag Ryan. He just released a new album last week. So I'm always excited to see my Carnival friends releasing original music. Such brilliant people. Butterflies. Excellent. Butterfly Lounge. So how do I find your new music? Is it on the SoundCloud? Is it on the Spotify? Is it on the iTunes? Do I find it on the YouTube? If I hold a shell up to my ear, will it play the original music? You tell me. I'll go through the process. Whatever it takes. Instagram, BJ O'Shea. All right, then. I will be keeping an eye on that. I am Johnny Millwater on Instagram, and I haven't posted in a very long time. I can't wait. Congratulations. What kind of music? And you're a bass player, if I recall, but you also play the piano, obviously, and probably play the guitar, just on principle. What kind of music are you releasing? Is it singer-songwriter, guitar-type music, or do you have the whole band involved? I'm excited now. I'd like to know what you're thinking. It's such a... being at sea is... Oh, yeah, there we go. I'll be doing that. Musician and Ocean Zebri will have the Facebook info. There you go. I will click the message instantly. Nice. Thank you. Well, I very much look forward to finding out. And when I do, I will summarize it in the next episode. But unfortunately, we're out of time. Let's go to the close-up. Oh, get rid of that. Oh, I'm supposed to stay. Yeah, I stay. Where'd the background go? This thing's so much more complicated than I thought. All right. A little pop, a little jazz, a little country sound, and nod to Oklahoma, where I know you are from. Oh, man, I miss you, BJ. I wish we had more time to talk. I will be back next Sunday at 11 a.m. to 12:30. I have a writing group that comes and meets me here at the Comedy Zone in just about 20 minutes, so I got to clean it up and get out. Next time you see me, I'll be regenerated. I'll have different hair. That'll be fun. But until then, I'm so happy to hear from you. I hope everybody's doing great. And remember, the only way to save this country is for all of us to love one another. So love yourself first, if you can, and then love somebody else. And then love everybody. And I like to close out with a little song. It's a country western tune written by the great Billy Joe Shaver. I'm just an old chunk of coal, but I'm gonna be a diamond someday. I'm gonna glow and grow till I'm so blue perfect. I'm gonna put a smile on everybody's face. I'm gonna kneel and pray every day, lest I should become vain along the way. I'm just an old chunk of coal now, Lord, but I'm gonna be a diamond someday. I'm gonna learn the right words to talk. I'm gonna search and find a better way to walk. I'm gonna spit and polish my old rough-edged self till I get rid of every single flaw. I'm gonna be the world's best friend. I'm gonna go around shaking everybody's hand. I'm gonna be the cotton-picking rage of the age. I'm gonna be a diamond someday. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next Sunday if I'm lucky. God bless you. God bless America. Here we go. Can you tell I'm looking for a button? Bye, everybody. I'll figure it out.